Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and in today's video I just wanted to do something different. This isn't a BG commentary where I'm playing things live while commentating, trying to think up the most cringiest jokes ever in order to find a way to throw some memes in there and make it at least 10 minutes so that my YouTube popularity can go up. Actually, I don't even know anymore what you need to have in your video, maybe like dab on the haters, but you need something now to get promotion out there, and I'm not quite sure what. In WoW content, I have no idea what I can do. Anyway, let's talk about something that people ask me all the time. How do you improve in PvP? What are some of the general tips I can give to somebody who PvPs, or somebody who wants to get better at PvP? In most cases, the more specific the question is, the more specific and clear my answer can be. So the more specific you can phrase your question when you ask me, how do you do this as a rogue? What do you do this in general? How do you do this in arena? The more specific your question is, let's say it's an arena question, if you can give me an idea of who your partner is, who you're playing against, what are your setups, what do you got going on, then I can give you a more specific answer. But when people ask me, what are the general tips that you can give for PvP? I get stumped. I don't really know what to say. So I kind of want to use this video and this footage as almost like a premise. What are you doing? How to get better at PvP? What do I do? For the most part, I had to learn by myself. From the beginning of the game when I started playing, I wanted to PvP, but I knew I was so shit at it. Because I remember playing a feral druid and trying to duel this rogue, and I dueled him, I think, once, twice, 3 times, and I was just thinking, there's no way I could beat this guy. So then I had 2 options. I had either an option of, okay, I'm just gonna go away and say that rogue is probably cheating, or give myself some kind of excuse in my own head and say, alright, well, nothing I could do there. Or I could tell myself that, okay, I'm gonna duel this rogue 10 more times. And after the 10 times are over, and losing every single one of those times, getting more upset over it, should I walk away to go to get a fresh breath of fresh air? Or should I duel him 10 more times? I dueled the guy 10 more times, making it 20, into 30, into 40, into goddamn 50 times that I get my ass whooped. I would duel him as soon as the duel is over, no cooldowns available or nothing, go back at it again. As soon as I get heals up, he'll eat food, I'll eat food. And he basically at one point was making fun of me while in gold char, and then he just started feeling bad for me, because then he was like, wow, this is kind of sad. But I wanted to get better at feral, and I never got around to getting better at feral. I have kind of a second chance in Legion, because I do have a feral as an alt. But getting better at rogue, what I would do is I would just do BGs, I would do skirmishes, I would do any kind of PvP that I could. And the best BGs that you can find for improvement are the ones where your team is losing, where you don't have the greatest bunch of the Brady bunch on your side and you're getting completely stomped. The less, the enemy team has to be winning, but if it's a complete stomp, there's not a lot you can do. But if it's a situation like the one in the BG here, my team isn't that great. We don't have any rank 1, let alone not a lot of our players even halfway decent. I'm guessing a lot of them PvE, and that's really about as far as that goes. And I'm playing on a class that I'm usually not that well versed at. I'm playing Survival Hunter, and this is not a class that I've been playing regularly as of recent. I just kind of been having a bit of fun of it on it here and there, and it's a perfect setup. Here I can just go and practice my rotation, I can practice my setups, I can try different things, and that's all this BG is about. Whether you win or lose in this BG, it doesn't matter, so you might as well give it a good shot. I'm trying my rotation and my abilities on different classes. I'm going from Holy Priest to a Mage, I'm trying different setups, trying different CC, I have a certain talent build that I just chose, I'm not sure if it's perfect or not, and I'm making mistakes, and I'm trying to learn from these mistakes the best I can. Like, for example, what the fuck is that explosive trap doing there? It's just sitting there, they see it, oh, now it exploded. I could have lined that explosive trap up for something better, maybe damage, or maybe to make sure the Demon Hunter is missing next to attacks if it triggers it. There's a lot of things I can improve on, and especially if I can record this footage, I can see what I did wrong. Now, I didn't record a lot of my footages and then look what I did wrong. I just try to learn from my experiences in the BG and queue into the next one. It's really just a casual experience. But I do this a lot with some of the other classes. I feel like as a rogue main, I would say as an outlaw rogue, I am fairly well versed at it. I'm not gonna say I'm good at it, I'm just gonna say I'm halfway decent, and that's pretty good for me, because it's the best I've ever gotten. But I feel like I'm definitely better at that class than some of the other ones out there. If I go into Survival Hunter and I'm expecting to do something amazing, chances are I'm not going to be able to do that, not going to be able to accomplish it. If I'm an Outlaw Rogue, well, I feel more confident in my abilities. So I love playing BGs for my ults, and that's probably the best part of it. because it's a losing situation, it doesn't matter what you do, so you might as well try different things. Try putting yourself in different situations. Just try to see if you can survive. Try to line up your CC. Here I'm just practicing my rotation. I'm using this healer as a training dummy, but the fact that there's 2 healers there, so I'm kind of combining train dummy rotation and CC rotation. I'm using abilities like disengage and grappling hook, or harpoon in the case of survival hunter, in order to practice my mobility and how to use it properly. I'm also practicing in AoE situations in this BG. And CC, trying to see maybe if we could do some kind of a short interrupt, kind of gouge style, to stop a heal from happening. Maybe if it's like some kind of a crazy cooldown coming out from a healer, I could just hold that cooldown on them, let them sit in there, no healing gain, no nothing, and then come back at them. There's a lot of things you can practice on. And I guess it's one advice I would give to a lot of PvPers. So somebody who is trying to get better at PvP, just QBGs. It's a great place because there's a different kind of environmental situations. You can have a 1v1 with some guy in a random location with maybe a LOS, maybe he has mobility, maybe you like mobility. You can have a team fight where you have a healer, so you can really just sit there in a 3v3, or I guess in an arena style format, where you have a healer supporting every single I guess damage you put out, and whatever damage is being done to you, they can supplement for it with healing, giving you the perfect environment to just try things out. And I think it's awesome. That's one advice I would give to anybody who's trying to PvP. Just go into a situation, win or lose, and just try to learn something out of it. You don't need to, write down notes like in a college class every time you go into BG. Just a few things that you would get from just experiencing it. And as long as you keep an open mind about it. On one hand, I know it can be very, very tilting to play a losing battle, a BG where you're just on a back foot the whole time. You're trying to get your team out there. You're trying to maybe think, what if I tell my team to do this? Maybe if I should be, should be nice to them and maybe encouraging, kind of like a cheerleader. Should I be, iron fist and just say they suck and they can do better, and tell them how they can do better, and maybe with enough of that determination, maybe they will play better. You don't never really know, so you can't really make a judgment call on that all that easily, to be honest. So keeping your head cool and practicing how to keep your head cool in a hectic situation, being able to practice your, I guess, quote-unquote rotation, although I think PvP doesn't really have rotation per se, at least in my opinion. Practicing your macros, practicing your abilities. For me, it's practicing pet control, and then surviving as a survival hunter, which is one thing this class or this specialization is pretty bad at, I would say. Surviving is one thing a survival hunter is pretty bad at, let's be honest. There's a lot of things to practice on. So when people ask me, Dalaran, can you give me some general tips for PvP? I get stumped. Because there's so many things I can tell them, but I'm not quite sure exactly what I can say. I mean, it's like telling somebody, let's say somebody is like, okay, I'm bad at driving, can you give me some driving tips? I could tell them, okay, keep your both hands on the wheel, make sure you have a seatbelt on, but it's like, maybe that's not the issue that they're having with. So I feel like the information I'm telling them that right now is actually absolutely useless. So I just want to be a useful individual and tell people something they need to hear, something that would help them out, rather than just tell them random things that don't even apply. So when the question is as broad as general tips for PvP, there's not a lot I can really do. All I can tell you is what I learned and how I went about learning all the things that I learned. And in the end, let's be honest, no actual guide can really make you amazing in the game. No full-blown guide can just make you snap of fingers and you're great. No guide. I can give you guys the most detailed guide, tell you exactly what to do, tell you to follow steps 1 through 2 to 3 to 4, follow steps A, B, C, D, E, and bam, you got success. But it doesn't make a difference unless the person puts effort into it. So in this video, it's almost like I'm just trying to give a little bit of my own thoughts and opinions on how to get better at PvP. I'm almost like trying to teach a man how to fish instead of giving them a fish in here. You know what I mean? So the best way to go about it is to, I guess, develop habits. It's almost like school. You know, the better notes you take, the better methods you figure out of how to get all that information and find a way to apply it and use it and make it all relevant in your head, the better you will be on with all your other classes. And I don't think World of Warcraft should be any different. I mean, on one hand, school, the other, it's a game. But if it's a game that you like and it's a game you pay a lot of attention into, and you spend a lot of time in and something you want to improve on, like all the other things that you need to get better at, you need to practice it, you need to try at it, and give it a good old shot. And that's really all I got. Anyway, so what can you get from this? The way I learned how to play my rogue and general stuff is by simply playing, so simply trying new things. You gotta be open to trying new things. You gotta be open to going into a battleground and you have no idea what you're doing, but you decide, okay, what am I bad at? I'm bad at keeping cool when things get hectic. Okay, I'll maybe put myself in hectic situations and find a way to keep my head cool, even though I'm being bombarded by all these abilities and there's all these animations going on around me and there's so many characters on the screen. How do I keep cool? How do I not freak out and blow every single one of my defenses? If you're bad at your rotation, just find a target and rogue, practice your open rotation on them. Find a bunch of trained dummies if you can in BGs and open your do your openers on them. Paladins, okay, they can bubble. Priests, okay, paint suppression, watch out for that. Okay, warlocks, they have a bubble and they can get wall where they can free cast. Stuff like that. And eventually you'll just become into a better player just from practicing it. That's all I got for you guys. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this, just long discussion stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video.